Hello and welcome to this special My COVID Story interview as part of our Aerotime Week dedicated to pilots. My name is Martin Popplewell and I'm delighted to be here to interview a number of captains and first officers during this week when we mark International Pilots Day. We'll bring you some special reports and interviews from across the world as we take a deeper look into the role of pilots in our world today. Today we'll be hearing from Divya Manchanda, who is a pilot with Jet Airways. She joined Jet Airways in 2012 and today is not only a pilot but also a web designer, computer engineer and an entrepreneur. I'm looking forward to finding out how she has time to fit all of those things in. She has 8 years of flying experience and 2 years of working in management positions in the airline's strategy department. She's worked in a range of areas, including as a consultant in FinTech, digital marketing and sales and marketing. She has experience across aviation, including with low-cost carriers and cargo, and in 2015 she joined the MBA in Aviation program offered by Toulouse Business School and the Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore. Divya, thank you for joining us. I've just read an introduction which talks about all the different things that you do. Yeah. Why do you do all of these different things? Why do you not just do one job and get home at the end of that day and pour yourself a large glass of wine or whatever your vice is and turn on Netflix and watch The Crown and chill out? What drives you to do all these other things?
By the way, I really like Crown. It's one of my favorite series.
So I use it as an example because it's sort of very international. Everybody everywhere is watching it. So
right. So in the beginning, that's exactly what I was doing. I used to go for my flights and come back and watch Netflix. But I've always needed something to stimulate my mind. And I personally believe that one should never stop learning. Before joining flying and pursuing flying, I was already a computer engineer. And when I joined flying 3 years into my flying duties, I just wanted something more in life to stimulate my mind. And I came across MBA in aviation and I joined the course. From there onwards, things changed for me drastically, professionally and personally. My final year project was on internal communication that got me into the management activities at Jet Airways. That led me to joining strategy and business transformation department in Jet Airways. So my 2 years management stint made me learn more things like digital marketing, doing animated videos, doing short films, etc. And this quest for learning, I think, has got me through the COVID times as well. Because just prior to COVID hit us, I was supposed to join an Indian carrier, and I was sitting back and I said, let me, learn something new again. And I learned how to code a website. When COVID hit all of us and there were no jobs in the market, by then I was already a year and a half without a regular salary. That website designing got me a couple of projects. Friends approached me and they said, why don't you, learn on the job? One website project got me another. Second got me to doing a website project for a company. And my management stint in Jet Airways helped me get some consultation projects in aviation. Those consultation projects, when people saw me doing them, they approached me and they said, look, do you want to try doing something in the FinTech space? And I said, yeah, why not? And I did that. That led me to doing some project in the gaming industry. So I think it's always been the quest for learning new things. And I think that the more you learn, it opens up your world to new opportunities and also helps you in your own personal growth.
How did the career in aviation start?
So my dad is retired from Indian Army. He served 33 years. And while he was serving, I would always come across people, pilots. And I always wanted to become a fighter pilot, actually. But in class 9, I ended up getting glasses. And I thought that, okay, this is dead for me. I can never become a pilot. So I went on to doing my computer engineering and I graduated and I was 6 months into an IT job when one of my friend's friend, I saw him studying for becoming a pilot. And he was wearing glasses. And that's when, I got a little more information from him. And I said, this is it. And I just want to like leave everything and do what I always wanted to do. And yes, that's how my journey to becoming a pilot started.
So is flying the real passion? I mean, despite all the other interests, is that the main thing for you?
For me, flying is always my first love. It's always been. But the other things that I'm doing on the side, so this is something that I believe in, that, whenever you are into any technical role, you tend to get a bit tunneled into, seeing things, the way you see things and the way you do things. So when you go out and start doing other things and exploring the world with new opportunities, it kind of widens your horizon and you start having a different perspective towards things. It can also be in your own current job. So these things have, I can say they are add-ons to whatever I like, which is flying, but they are not like my prime things.
What is it about flying? I mean, I as a non-pilot, I love flying. I have these ideas about what might appeal to you as a pilot, but what is it that makes it the career that it is?
Having your office at 40,000 feet above mean sea level. I mean, there can be nothing better than that. I'm based out of Bangalore. And when I would do my flight from Bangalore to Chennai, that's in the east. So I would get to see the early morning sunrise. And on my way back in the evening, I would get to see the sunset. So if these are your office views every day, I don't think there can be anything better than that. And also the people, that we are working with in aviation, it's almost like a family. You don't feel like you're going for work. You just feel like, you're going and doing a job, but it's also coming with a lot of fun along with it. So yeah.
It comes with a great bit of kit as well, doesn't it? I mean, in terms of, I have my laptop and my mobile phone, which are my key bits of kit. Your key bit of kit is bigger than mine. And I would guess that sort of bright, shiny, amazing piece of engineering is kind of fun to press the buttons off.
So I moved from a turboprop ATR to an Airbus 330. And ATR is a completely manual machine. There's a lot of manual flying to it. It's full of, the control columns are controlled by cables and pulleys, as against an Airbus 330 where everything is done by the computers. So there are a lot more buttons on a more sophisticated machine as compared to a turboprop. But I think I enjoyed both sides of flying. I enjoyed the ATR as well, where I had to do a lot of manual flying. And I enjoyed the Airbus 330 as well, where I had to do a lot of button pushing. So it's somewhat like a graduation in your career, when you're moving towards a more automated machine. So yeah.
We've been talking to a number of people about their COVID stories.
Right.
And it's obviously been a challenging, enormously difficult and a difficult time for everybody.
Right.
How's it affected you? What's your COVID story for the last year?
I'll be honest with you here. So like I mentioned earlier, when COVID hit us all in March, in India in March, by then I was already a year and a half without a regular income. And I was looking forward to joining the Indian carrier in March. So when COVID hit, it was really hard on me financially. But at that point in time, it was about deciding whether I want to sit and think about what I don't have, or do I want to sit and think about what I can have and I can work towards. It was very difficult because now you're walking into uncomfortable territories. There are no jobs outside. Who's going to give you a job? How is the world going to perceive you? Because you've always been a pilot, right? Suddenly, these technically sound people are out there in the market. They don't have a job. And, who do you approach? Who do you speak to? So my, I was lucky, I guess, that when I was learning how to design a website, the friend came across and he said, why don't you do this project? But the other thing that I consciously made an effort with and I decided to do was whatever was coming my way, even if it was not my comfort zone and something that I'm not used to doing, to just dive into it and go ahead with the flow. So, the consultation projects came. I had absolutely zero idea about FinTech space. I had zero idea about the gaming industry. I didn't know, how I should design a website for a company. So all these things came by, but I just decided to dive in and, go. Of course, life is not as comfortable as it used to be when I was a pilot because, you have a steady income, you have certain luxuries that come along with it, and suddenly none of it is there in your life. So, your life changes drastically. It's a 180-degree move. But yeah, I pushed myself and I got through it.
So you've got now a different career. You've got your own startup business specializing in natural home decor. It's called Luma, I think. Is that right? Have I got the name right?
That's right.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
So my partner, Diksha, she's also a pilot. She was a pilot with Jet Airways, and we knew each other in the company for a long time. But it was only the last 2 years when we really got talking, and we realized that both of us resonate on a similar thinking, which is a minimalistic way of living, owning very few things, and both of us are solo travelers. We both travel a lot. So we did one travel together as well. And through our travels, so this is actually Diksha's vision. It's entirely her story. And she came up to me and she said, Divya, do you want to join me and, make this happen? And when I heard her side of the story, I said, yes, why not? And I just dived right in. So Luma is, it's an eco-friendly home decor brand. And we deal only with handcrafted stuff. We're working with artisans all across the country. Currently supporting 100 artisans, out of which 80% are women. And the other thing that happened was when we started on this journey, we had little idea about the natural fibers that exist in our own country. So, through our research and through meeting the artisans, we got to know that there is so much in our own country in stuff like banana fiber, water reeds, things that I had never even heard of. And we crafted some really beautiful products out of them.
And are you selling mainly online, or have you got bricks and mortar stores in various locations? How are you selling your stuff?
We're just 2 months old right now. We did a soft launch in March this year. And so it's just been 2 months. And we are solely selling through social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, etc. But we will be launching our website in a month from now. So it's a completely online business for now. At least I see this as an online business for the next year and a half before we get into the brick and mortar.
But of course, because I'm speaking to you, that's not the only thing you're working on. You've got some other irons in the fire, as we say in the UK. What are your other irons?
So I keep doing projects on the side, the ones that I was doing last year. So there is one, and both are startups. So one is it's a logistics startup now that I'm working with, and another one is a gaming startup, and and this is alongside Luma. So those things, they're kind of feeding me to sail through my startup journey.
So are you going to be going back to planes? Are you going to go to the air again, as it were, whenever you can? Because the expectation is that there will be a period of recovery. We don't know how long that recovery is going to take, but it is your desire to get back behind and back in the pilot seat?
Of course, for sure. There is no way that I would never want to get back to flying. It's just about waiting for the aviation industry to open up. Currently, it's still not at the stage where people have started hiring again. There's a little bit of hiring happening here and there, but it's more so, an internal progression which is happening in the companies. But they've not yet opened out to the outside. So as and when that happens, then yes.
And where are things at the moment? You say that there's sort of a little bit of opening. I mean, are you seeing, because I think in the States, certainly there's been a significant increase in air travel and
Right.
the association of economic activity which goes with that. Is that something which, I mean, is it a clear path at the moment? Or I suppose with the trouble with COVID is it everything is a little unclear, but where are things in India at the moment?
So the last couple of months back that I was speaking to the strategy head at Bangalore Airport, he mentioned that they're already at 60% of their capacity. But with the new second wave, which has just started coming in the last month and a half, I think the things have started slowing down a bit. But it's amazing that we were able to reach 60% capacity end of last year. So things will pick up. I think there's a little bit of fear that is again coming into the minds of people with the second wave. But I think it will easen out in 3 to 4 months from now.
For many people, it's been a deeply traumatic year. Do you think, though, that for you, despite the trauma of not doing the job that you really love, there has been some positivity in the year?
In the air?
In the year, I mean, have there been positive aspects
Right.
of what you've learned about yourself? The new career that you're running, hopefully along parallel with being a pilot. These are things which I suppose are positive things in a sense.
I feel and I believe that life is always about two things. It's your state of mind and perception. If you have the right state of mind, you will always perceive things in a positive way. But if you get too perturbed by the things around you, it will affect your state of mind and thereby your perception and the way you're seeing things around you. So, like I said before, that you can either sit back and say that, okay, keep looking at the things that have not worked out for you, or you can look ahead and keep moving with what you can do and how you can make it work. So in my case, I think it's been positive from both ends. One, so of course, financially, it's not been that great for me, but that's also because, I'm starting right from the ground up. It's completely a new area, new domain for me. But personally, and in terms of a career growth, parallelly, it's been amazing. I mean, there is, when we are in aviation, there are certain things that we are deprived of. And that is waking up at the same time every day and sleeping at the same time every day. That's a luxury which you cannot have in aviation. And it's the most undervalued thing, I feel, because in the last 2 years, the feeling of sleeping at the same time and waking up at the same time is just amazing. Getting to have a weekend, a Saturday and Sunday, getting to meet your family. So there are a lot of positive sides to the non-aviation part of it, and things that you really, really wanted to do, and I'm getting to do them now.
I used to work for the BBC and Sky News as a journalist and presenter, and I am very empathetic to anyone that has to get up at weird hours of the day and go in and be completely focused, because it does play havoc with your life in all sorts of ways. And as you say, it is one of those things when you stop doing it, you suddenly realize how much of a negative aspect of it is of what is otherwise a great job, but it's definitely the big downer on the job.
Right. I mean, you won't believe, Martin, but I'm enjoying my morning cup of tea in my
I believe you. I believe you.
I can't tell you how amazing the feeling that is. So yeah.
And also that thing of not thinking, actually, it's 5 p.m. I should be going to bed now because I've got to get up in the middle of the night.
Exactly, right. So, I don't have to worry about waking up in the morning. And like you said, at 4 o'clock, you cannot afford to be like, oh, I'm sleepy, I don't want to go for work. You have to be like really alert. So yeah.
No, it's definitely a positive thing about not working weird hours. What would you say in terms of a message to other people that are in the aviation sector that are still not in a good place, that are worried about the future? What would be your message to them?
So I think I would like to send across two messages. One is never stop learning. I keep iterating this again and again because learning has been something which has always opened up opportunities for me. And, the growth personally and professionally has been great because of learning. Second is, um, never let anyone come and tell you what you're capable of or not capable of, especially during these times, as I have faced that a lot. And I'm sure people who are hit by COVID have also faced that. Um, I feel that anyone is capable of doing anything they want, provided they put their mind into it and they work hard towards it.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you for having me.
That brings us to an end of this Aerotime interview, but stay tuned for more exclusive content throughout this special week celebrating life and work of pilots across the world. Thank you for joining us. My name is Martin Popplewell, and you've been watching Aerotime. Goodbye.